What's going on, Jerome's? So, Twins lost. Just got back from the game. It's really unfortunate, but sort of is what it is. Always next year. And even though we don't have the Twins anymore, we still have the Viking. We still have Gopher Foot. Ah, anyways, but just want to go on a little bit of a rant here because one of the roster moves the Vikings made on Wednesday was re-signing veteran quarterback Sean Mannion. Now, Sean Mannion is a name that you will know. I mean, he backed up Kirk Cousins for 2 seasons, and what's really frustrating about it is I understand what they're doing, where the NFL is conservative by nature and you want the safe guy, right? So the safe veteran backup quarterback is what you want. And that's why you get a guy like Nick Mullins. That's why you get a guy like Trevor Siemian. That's why you get a guy like Sean Mannion. But Sean Mannion does not inspire any excitement, any confidence at all. And, knocking down all the wood, Kirk Cousins has been extremely durable and extremely healthy. And what's the plan here? That's what I want to know. Where if something happens to Kirk, whether alien abduction or trade, are they going to go with Sean Mannion? Are they going to get him up to speed, take him from the practice squad to the 53 and then start him? Or are they going to see what Jaron Hall has? I would much prefer Jaron Hall because if Kirk goes down, it might be time to pack it in and then see what you got on the rooster. Play all the young kids, play all the draft picks, and have them audition for the future. And it would be extremely pointless even if Mullins was healthy, it would be pointless to play Mullins in that spot. And especially with, at least Mullins got a little bit of upside. Mullins has a little bit of Case Keenum in him. Mullins is a little bit more of a gunslinger than your average, milk toast Chad Henne, Matt Moore type backup quarterback, right? And the whole thing about Mannion is it's shocking, right? So even though Mannion was a backup quarterback for a couple of seasons, he had zero crossover with Kwesi Adofo-Mensah or Kevin O'Connell. Even though, yes, KOC was with the Rams, Mannion's time with the Rams, when he came into the league as a third-round pick, didn't cross over either. So neither of them have ties to Sean Mannion. Sean Mannion is literally a Viking because Kirk Cousins likes him. And Kirk Cousins even talked about how it's good to have Mannion in the quarterback room and blah, 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 blah. Well, if you want that, hire Mannion as an assistant coach. Hire him as a consultant. Don't just burn up a roster or practice squad spot on a guy who absolutely has zero gravitas, zero juice, man. Absolutely none. And the whole thing about it, too, is like, back in 2017, when Slinging Sammy Bradford went down with that knee injury after lighting up the Saints week 1, it's like, oh, here we go. But then all of a sudden, Case Keenum is in, but Case has that juice. Case has a little bit of that X factor, the YOLO factor. Going back to his time at the University of Houston, he was a gunslinger, man. Mannion ain't that. He certainly is not that. And it's just so frustrating because I understand you want stability. I understand you want whatever, but Kirk is not the GM. What is Kwesi doing in this spot? What is Kevin O'Connell doing? At least bring in a guy like Jordan Ta'amu, who was on the rooster for like 3 days. Give him an extended look. Bring in a guy like Bryce Perkins, who is still young, had some crossover with Kevin O'Connell and Wes Phillips over with the Rams. Or, I almost said bring in Carson Wentz. I would have preferred it, but nah there. But it's just so ridiculous. How do you not scour the rest of the league's practice squads for quarterbacks? Like, how do you not poach a guy from there? How do you not just get anyone that moves the needle just a smidgen? Sean Mannion is completely inert. He's a noble gas. It's flabbergasting. And again, I feel like it shows that Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell, I like the positive, upbeat culture. I think that ultimately it can win. But, when you're literally signing a quarterback who potentially could be your backup just because your quarterback one likes him and he's his golfing buddy, I was like, oh, he's really good to bounce ideas off of. It's just, adios mio. It's just so frustrating, man. It is. But, again, hopefully it doesn't come down to that. Hopefully Kirk stays healthy and we get this ish together and go on a little bit of a run in the middle of the season, sort of like 2017 when they won 8 games in a row in the middle of it. So go from there, man. But again, if something does happen, it needs to be the Jaron Hall show. Hey, you remember that guy that you drafted? The only quarterback that you've spent a draft pick on? Yeah, that guy. See what he's got versus trotting out stupid Oregon State Beaver Sean Mannion. You know, if he and Kirk play golf together, I bet you he lets Kirk win. Anyways, just frustration. It is what it is. Skull, no production value.